We would like to welcome you to a new interview series that we're doing. It's called The Royal Family of Basketball, which features 5 siblings from Mississippi who all found massive success on the hardwood. Charlotte Ward was the oldest and first to play the game. Then Gerard Ward was ranked as the top recruit in the nation out of Clinton, where he won a state championship, was having his number retired, and was named the Naismith Prep Player of the Year, the Mississippi Gatorade Player of the Year, and he went on to play professionally in the Continental Basketball Association. Now he's also a motivational speaker and is a national broadcaster. Then you add on Juanita Ward, who was the Mississippi Gatorade Player of the Year out of Callaway, where her numbers retired. She went on to play in the WNBA and internationally as well, and was an assistant coach for Jackson State women's basketball, and now she leads youth programs and gives back to the community. Gerard and Juanita became the first brother and sister to be McDonald's All-Americans when they were in college. Joseph Ward was the 5th ranked recruit out of his class, and Thomas Ward kept the legacy going as well. So this and so much more on all of them. Tonight we're going to start off with episode 1 of this exclusive interview series. So now let's meet the Wards. We've got Joe, Juanita, we have Thomas, and Gerard. So Thomas, I have to ask you, why did you not get a J name?
You would have to ask my mom and dad. Dad's named Thomas, so I'm the second.
He also wore red, so we're seeing, you know, one of these things is not like the other a little bit.
Yeah, I am different.
But of course, one thing that, as we were just chatting, that, you know, unites all of you and your other siblings is that you all have just succeeded at so many different levels of sport, and in basketball specifically. So it's kind of joking that you've got a kind of a little bit of a team that you guys made. The 5 of you would have been could have toured a little bit.
Our father, he had a motorcycle accident, and so our father asked God, said, God, when you heal me, I'm going to teach my children all that I know about life and about basketball. And so Dad prayed for this, and and so there were 5 of us. Our sister is the oldest, and she started the whole thing with basketball. And so, I mean, it was just an awesome opportunity to just be in a family of 5. I'm the baby of 5, and as you can tell, these guys, they're so big and strong, but, Dad prayed for it, and I'm grateful that, Mom and Dad were just faith-believing, and they carried us all the way through with nothing but the words of encouragement.
By the time that got to Juanita, basketball was probably kind of just like, almost like, duh, at that point. But for you, being one of the first of the siblings to get into the sport, what was it like for you, Gerard, to get involved in basketball? And how much was it you following in footsteps or being told what to do as compared to finding your own passion in the game?
It's interesting you say that. We had a lot of really good players coming along at the time that I was playing. Just to name a few, we had Chris Jackson, we had Othello Harrington, Ronnie Henderson, and some greats from around the area. And I just wanted to kind of do my part as far as being an ambassador to the state of Mississippi, to continue to bring recognition and awareness that Mississippi has great talent. One thing that I said to a bunch of college coaches when they recruited me, and I said that if there was ever a place that you could bring the best players to one location from all over the world, you'll see that Mississippi stacks up there with all the best. So they did it one day. We had something called the Fab 40. They brought us all together. And one of my most proudest moments was when we walked away from that, and all of the college coaches that was there, all the NBA scouts that were there, were saying, this skinny kid from Mississippi named Gerard Ward is considered, in our minds, the #1 player in the nation at that time, which was 1994.
Thomas, what was it like for you watching your older brother get involved in the game and as you kind of started out?
I've always wanted to be like Gerard. Watching this 6'9" can play every position on the court, on the floor, come down and just destroy anybody that he played against was awesome. It made me think that I can do it too. And I'm like, yes, I would. If I ever get the opportunity, I'm gonna try, and I try, but never be as good as this guy.
Joe, at this point, it becomes a family sport.
Yeah, it did. He was #1 in the country, right? And we're talking about, on that list, Allen Iverson was #2. We're talking about Allen Iverson. And so to be able to have my brother, represent Mississippi #1 and be the #1 player in the country over players like Allen Iverson, Felipe Lopez, that gave me motivation, And I wanted to be just like him.
Well, you bring up a really great point, which is I think a lot of sports fans look at someone, whether it's, Michael Jordan, whether it's LeBron James, whether it's you, any of you, and they see, oh, the person, the number they wear, and their stats. So what are those qualities that you try to embody when you played and that you think that he did, or any of you guys?
Just the determination, just the attitude and the mentality that you gotta have to succeed every single day you wake up. And what our dad instilled in us based on faith. We was born into a family where faith was the cornerstone of living everyday life. And so our dad taught us that if we believed that we could achieve anything. And I think the biggest thing was our belief system. I mean, I remember him, and we're talking about hours of practice, right? We're practicing from the dark until the sun comes up. That has to take a lot of belief because your body's tired, this is the wee hours of the night. But you're still out there at 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning. So I think that mindset and that determination is what has carried us this far.
And so we need it is your organization, I Will Succeed, that we were talking about, that mindset that we discussed and how you're helping inspire younger players as well. How did that feel for you getting involved, especially being the younger girl of, you had an older sister and then 3 older brothers?
Dad wouldn't let me play. Mom said, do not allow her to get out there and play. So Dad said, okay, well, I have to come up with something else to teach her the game of basketball. So he would tell me to sit down and just dribble the basketball to get familiar, get the IQ of it. And so while I was watching them, Gerard shoot the ball, Joseph dunk the ball, Thomas shooting the basketball, while I was watching them, I was over there dribbling. They wouldn't let me get in there because Mom was like, my baby's gonna get hurt. And so they wouldn't let me get in. But, you made a good point, Dave. It falls from the head down. And so our mother and our father were very, very inspirational in our life. Our mother was a cheerleader. Her motto was, go for the goal, baby. Go for the goal. Every single game, she did it to every one of our games. Go for the goal, baby. Go for the goal. And that's what we did. It started with Gerard. And so it was one of those things where we learned at an early age how to eat adversity. And Gerard taught us that, going to Michigan and watching them play. Thomas and I traveling on the road and watching Joseph. Yeah. Man, it was phenomenal. And so this is where that I will succeed. This is where it comes from, because I saw my older brothers, prepare. I saw them, work hard. I saw them put in the hard work, and it takes tenacity to really, really, really accomplish what Gerard did. So, man, we all ate adversity, and at the end of the day, we have the success behind it to show the history and the royalty of, what the Ward family has done through the seeds of, Thomas and Mary Ward.